this is like task vomit all over my day, and it's the same for like every single day in this week. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel where I teach you how to get more done and reclaim your time as a content creator. My name's Kate and I'm so glad you're here. What I'm gonna do here is share a literal screenshot from what my schedule looked like in 2018, just before I burned out, knowing that now I have a lot more on my plate. I have enough time to go to the gym, to eat properly, to cook my food, to spend time with my boyfriend, continue my own education, and earn money from multiple income streams. Okay, so I'm gonna pull up my calendar from 2018 now. By the way, the reason I'm doing this is I want you to learn from my mistakes. And there are some unusual tips that I've got for you today that you most likely haven't heard before. And they go beyond the typical like time management techniques, I guess. Okay, let's just dive straight in here. So first of all, you can see that I was waking up between like 5 and 6 a.m. every single day. I am a morning person, so that's not the craziest thing. I still wake up pretty early now. But let me draw your attention to the length of my work day. Because I was starting work around, say around 7 o'clock each day, yeah? But I wasn't finishing my work day until 9 or 10 p.m. Look at this, 10 p.m. And I got up at 5:30 on that Wednesday, started actual work at 7:30, finished at 10 p.m. Like, that is horrific. And that is just what's visible on here, because I distinctly remember a lot of the days in the week I would get up at 5, 6 a.m. and I'd go live on Facebook straight away, and that wasn't in my calendar. The worst part is that I was wearing that like a badge of honor. Like, working such long hours every single day was a reason that I was more worthy of success, that my business was gonna be more successful, that I was the creme de la creme because I was the one that was willing to work those long hours. Wake up at 5 a.m. and work 15 hours a day. Whereas now the goal is to work 15 hours a week. And I'll tell you now, I do not look back at those days and think, oh, those were the days. Like, I absolutely don't. I look back and I think those were the days that I lost a bunch of friends, when I put on a bunch of weight. I was skipping workouts. I was eating foods that were most convenient. I was fatigued and exhausted from start to finish in the day. I couldn't focus. And my business was not growing at the rate that I thought it should have been, considering the long hours. That was pretty frustrating because I was like, I'm working all these hours, like what more can I possibly do? And don't get me wrong, like working hard is important. If you've got a business and you want to make this your full-time thing and you want to create something bigger than yourself, like, yeah, you got to work hard, but working 24/7, well, that's where we get into sticky situations. Don't get me wrong, you'll keep it up for a while, but at some point you've got to work out a better way. And at this point, this was November 2018. Unfortunately, I cut off the date here, but December 2018 was when I fully burned out. This was the schedule that led me to burnout. All right. And at this point, I had no intention of figuring out a better way. I just thought this was what I got to do to build my business. This is what I'm going to do. I'm going to give you little either actionable or just general takeaways from each point that I have here. This is the first mistake, was all of the hours I was working. Okay, so the actionable takeaway, work less hours. Okay. It has been proven to us time and time again that working long hours isn't good. The amount of good hours that you have in the week is a lot lower than we like to think it is. We actually think it's 40. In reality, it's somewhere between 20 and 30 hours. I don't know the specifics, but it's not more than 30 hours. So you're probably like, well, I can't get it all done in 30 hours. Or less than 30 hours, God forbid. You're probably not getting much more than that done anyway, because your productivity goes down beyond a certain amount of hours in the week. So with that in mind, you might as well give yourself the chance to switch off and completely recharge between those work days. Into the next big mistake, I actually didn't put everything on my calendar. So I already said that I was doing like Facebook Lives first thing in the morning. That wasn't going on my calendar. I will also want to draw your attention to this area here. Now, you can see I had shower and food at 7 a.m., right? But the whole way through here, there's no other space for meals. There's no way that I didn't. Okay, I'm sure I had dinner in this area, right? But there's no space for lunch. I was either working or eating. I was not doing both, and I can tell you for sure I was not skipping meals. So when I was planning my week, I was fooling myself into thinking that that's how my day was going to go, when in actual fact I was breaking promises to myself, because one of these at least I didn't do because I was having lunch. So this is the thing, when I was planning my week, I wasn't taking into account, general surviving, which is important, guys. I definitely don't need to reiterate that. So of course I would drop work before I drop food, which means instantly one or two things that I've projected I'll get done in the week were just full on not getting done. And breaking that trust with yourself over and over again is a surefire way to struggle with your productivity, struggle with your focus, and getting things done in the long term. So the actionable takeaway here, or really just takeaway, is to please be honest with yourself. Add in buffer time if you know that something might go over, or if you're not sure how long something is going to take you, add in buffer afterwards. Add in travel time if you've got anything where you need to go to a place to do the thing. Now, the next big fat mistake that I made was, okay, have a look at the peachy color and the purple color. These were all phone calls. I am an introvert. I had calls every day. One-to-one calls drain so much energy out of me. These green ones were my in-person clients. I loved in-person PTing. My online clients, I had phone calls with them every week. And then these peachy ones are consults with like free coaching calls, basically sales calls. I would do 2. I would do 1 to kind of get them set up, and then the second one was at the end where I would upsell into my fitness program. I hated one-to-one calls. Look how many one-to-one calls were in my week. Ew, like you would never see me do that now. And even if I did have a business now where I had one-to-one calls, I would put them all in the one day. So at least I could switch on call mode, get through my day of calls, and then switch off call mode for another 6 days, and not have to switch it on and off multiple times in a day. Because what the hell? That's absolutely manky. The actionable takeaway here is to get to know yourself, and not just in what you speak about in your content or your business, but in how you deliver it. Okay, for example, I recently took part in a low ticket challenge from a mentor of mine. She's a business coach. So this was an 11-day experience. There was a Facebook group open for those 11 days. She went live in that group twice, and then there was 10 full days of implementations, like mini trainings that she had recorded ahead of time, and she posted one each day. I remember her saying in passing, she was like, I have 4 kids and I homeschool all of them. There was no way that I was going to be able to show up live 10 days in a row. Like, that wasn't going to happen. Do you enjoy calls? Do they drain the life out of you? Do you prefer one to many? Do you prefer not being on camera at all? Like, you're a content creator, but there are ways to be a content creator without having to show your face on camera in this day and age. Like, you can absolutely do that. Do you go live every day because some business coach or some mentor told you that that was going to be the best way to grow your business? Just have a think about like what actually works for you. You get to build it in whatever way you want. The next one we have here is I had no boundaries. You can't see it in this particular week, but because I was dealing with global clients, I was taking clients on literally from all over the world, and I was only a few months out from moving to Australia, so I wasn't really bothered about like, oh, if I get a client in Australia, like I'm gonna be in their time zone in a few months anyway, so it's no big deal, right? But because of that, I was doing those free coaching calls, the sales calls, at all hours. I remember taking calls at 2:30 a.m., 3 a.m., 4 a.m., 11 p.m. I'll remind you, I am a morning person. For me to take a call at 11 p.m., that's not my optimal time. Like, I literally have to wake myself up, get myself, not just be awake, but be on and in the zone, because I was actually making sales on these calls. So I couldn't just like roll out of bed. These people, like, they didn't acknowledge or appreciate that I was getting up at that hour to get on the phone with them. They just were like, well, this works for me. And I was like, yeah, whatever works for you. Like, I had no self-respect. One time I had a call at 2:30 a.m. with a girl in Australia, and I was really looking forward to it because she seemed like she was like my dream client at the time. She had like the exact goals that I wanted to help people with. And she didn't show up to the call at 2:30 a.m. I literally woke up at probably 1:30 a.m., put makeup on, got myself in the zone, be like, yes, let's have like an amazing call. She didn't show up. And she blocked me. Like, let's stop selling our soul for nothing, okay? Like, I'm all for providing value, really, really showing up for them. And yes, serve people, but why would you overstretch yourself to serve people in a way that pulls you so far away from where you work optimally, especially if those people don't appreciate or understand the lengths you're going to help them? How much more value was that girl gonna get from me at 2:30 a.m. versus a different time that worked for her? I just let people walk all over me in the past, and you know, it's just not the vibe. The takeaway here is you get to build your business your way. You get to create it in whatever way you want, create your own schedule. You decide what hours you work. That's the whole point of having your own business. So you're the one who sets the rules, and if that doesn't work for people, then they're not your people. All right, the next big absolute no-no that I had in my business in the past was I didn't have an exit strategy. So let's have a look at the calendar here, right? Back to those days where I was finishing work at 9 p.m., 9:45, 10 p.m. How was I gonna get to sleep on time? I speak for the majority here when I say that you can't finish work at 10 p.m. and be asleep by 10:05 p.m. It's just not a thing. If you can do that, hats off to you. But for me, I know that I needed to go downstairs to the sitting room, watch some TV for a little while, come upstairs and get ready for bed. And then still, when I got into bed at that point, my brain was still in work mode. My brain was overthinking certain things I said in the call. With all that, then I wouldn't be able to go to sleep until like midnight at the earliest. And can't you see how that's a big problem? Because I was waking up between 5 and 6 a.m. every day. So how is that going to work? Look at this day. Finished work at 10 p.m. Next day, 5 a.m. affirmations / stretch. Even if I went to sleep the second I got off this call, that would be 7 hours, and I can guarantee you that I didn't. So I was probably getting like 5 hours sleep or less here. And as one of my mentors says, pros do the basics better. It is such boring advice. Like, we don't want to hear this, but it's so true. Like, get your 8 hours of sleep, or 7.5, or whatever works best for you. But please do not abandon the basics. Being awake for longer does not make your work output better. I'll guarantee you that. So the actionable takeaway here is to create an exit strategy. So you can see that I didn't have those here. But what I do now, I aim to take about 30 minutes to tie up loose ends from the day. I plan the following day, and I do something for my mindset, whether it's like EFT tapping or meditation, or just something to kind of get me out of work mode and into fun, human Kate mode. All right, and the last big mistake that I was making here was I wasn't theming my days. One thing's for sure, when you're looking at this schedule, like, there was definitely not one clear aim for each day, one clear target. Let's take Tuesday, for example, right? Okay, fine, affirmations at 5:30 a.m. I did a Zumba workout, shower and food. Okay, hour of personal development, grand. Then I had started my official workday at 8:30 a.m. with social media posts for half an hour. Then I went into lead generation. Then I went into client management. Then I got on a call with someone and did a fitness plan. Then I went into sales calls, which is a totally different mindset again. Social media posts again. Relationship building. Then I had some action items to do for an investment that I was working on. Then product creation for a workshop that I was building. Then another coaching call, more sales calls, another coaching call. Okay, there's a little gap here. Another coaching call, and then social media posts. Sorry to Kate of 2018, because I know she was just doing her best and thought that she was putting her best foot forward, but this is a shit show. This is like task vomit all over my day, and it's the same for like every single day in this week. And this is just a random week. So the actionable takeaway here is, at least if you can do one thing when you're planning your day to make things run smoother, is just have one clear target for the day, where if you get that one thing done, the day was a success. And if you can get other things done on top of that, then that's a bonus. That's how I approach my daily planning now. And I can tell you, it makes a huge, huge difference. Worlds beyond this madness that I'm showing you right now. Being more productive, creating systems in your business, creating workflows so that everything is a lot more streamlined and not just a bunch of task vomit all over your Google Calendar. Another thing I can tell you, I hated like 90% of the tasks in that calendar that I just showed you. Now, I work less hours, I do more meaningful work in the hours that I work, and I enjoy the work that I'm doing 100 times more, maybe 1,000 times more. Let me know if you had any penny dropping moments in this video. I'd love to know if you struggle with any of these issues in your calendarizing, or if you've been doing some of these things and this is a video that's made you go, oh, maybe I should have knew that. Because also, you know now that you're not alone. Like, it is kind of easy sometimes to make these mistakes. And now you've got the power to actually change it. So congratulations, you've made it to the end of this video. I will see you in next week's video, where we're going to go through how to actually create an ideal work week template. So now you've gotten rid of the things you shouldn't be doing, we're going to move towards what we actually want in our calendar. If you haven't subscribed already, do that. And if you haven't followed on Instagram at moretolifekate, go and do that. All right, I'll see you next week. Bye. Mwah.